Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's preview as Cardiff take on Bulls in the last game of the weekend for the South African sides. And I think I have a very sneaky suspicion that the Bulls are going to get a victory here. I think that the Bulls, we haven't seen the best of the Bulls the last 2 weeks. And I think a lot of people have been quick to sort of write them off and say that they were just dominating South African sides, weren't good enough and stuff like that. But I think what we've seen is, and we can probably agree, the Bulls have probably actually been the worst South African side across the first two rounds of the URC. Regardless of who they're playing, regardless of the situation, we have not seen the Bulls pitch up in terms of the Bulls we've seen for the last sort of 12 months. And I think they're a side that's waiting for a catalyst. And I think the fact that the Sharks went and won against Ospreys last night, we saw a decent first half performance from the Stormers against Munster last weekend. The Lions had a very nice first half performance against Zebra, and a decent performance against Cardiff as well, despite going down quite heavily towards the end. And I think that the Bulls, we kind of been waiting for them to come to the party. And I think this is going to be the game where they will. I think that they've made a couple of changes, but it's still a very strong side. And I think that they've got nothing to lose, and Jake White is under quite a lot of pressure, a couple of criticism, a couple of sort of war of words. And I think when that sort of starts happening, I think that's when, Jake White responds. And I think those Bulls are very much overdue a good performance. And I think we will see it tonight. But before we look at the sides themselves, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Of course, we will be live for this game. We'll be live for all the South African games this weekend. And so Lions versus Glasgow Warriors, then Edinburgh versus Stormers, and then finally this game tonight. I'll be taking you through all those games, so make sure you come and hang out. But in terms of the team for tonight, we'll start with the Cardiff side. One of my favorite players at the moment is back. British and Irish Lions player Josh Navidi is back and in the starting lineup for Cardiff Rugby, which is a huge boost for him. It'll be a very nice sort of battle between those sort of loose forwards there. I'm a very big Josh Navidi fan. I thought he was absolutely tremendous from the first time he walked onto the pitch in the Six Nations until the end of it. So very keen to see him out tonight. But in terms of the Cardiff side, the front row is Reece Kerr, Kirby Myhill, and Dimitri Orup. And then Seb Davies and Matthew Screech will be your second row combination. Josh Navidi is joined by Will Boyd, James Ratty as the loose trio. And then the halfback combination will be Lloyd Williams and Reece Priestland. Very nice, big fan of Lloyd Williams. Very keen to see how he goes today. And he's up against a former Springbok scrum half in Ambrose Appear. So that should be quite a cool little battle there. Then Josh Adams, a devastating finisher. You don't give him space. You don't allow him time on the ball. Is in the number 11 jersey, switched back from operating at outside centre. Owen Lane on the other wing. And in the midfield, Ben Thomas will have Ray Lilo as his centre partner. Hallam Amos will be the full back for Cardiff. Off the bench, Christian Dacey, Corey Domachowski, and then Dylan Lewis will be in the front row. Then you've got the likes of Josh Turnbull, very good player to come off the bench. Thomas Williams, also a fantastic player to come off bench, as well as Rory Thornton. And then Willis Halaholo and Matthew Morgan complete the bench. It's a decent Cardiff side, but I do think that, at home, they are the favourites. And I think that Cardiff will if you look at the betting odds, for example, they are back to win this game. But this is the Bulls side they will be playing, and I think it's the Bulls side that can get a job done. First of all, on the front row, Sampiwa Mantanzima gets an opportunity. I'm a massive fan of Mantanzima. Very, very good young prop. He's got a fantastic set of skills. But what's impressed me most in the last few months is his scrummaging has come in leaps and bounds, and he really is holding his own in the number 1 jersey. Bismarck du Plessis will be next to him, as well as Jacques van Rooyen. So it doesn't get much more experience than the other two to then have the explosive character of Sampiwa Mantanzima on the other side. The lock combination, Ruan Nokia, we'll get a new partner in Janko Swanepoel as well. Steenkamp drops down to the bench. Those two are very, very good operators and very comfortable playing next with each other. And then Marcel Coetzee has Jacques du Plessis with him in the loose trio, and Ulrich Lowe with Arno Burt dropping down to the bench. This sort of shows you the quality in the Bull setup. Whilst they haven't been very impressive so far, to be able to drop Arno Burt and bring in Jacques du Plessis, it just shows you how much depth they've got. And then Ambrose Appear is back from injury, fully recovered, and starts next to Johan Goosen. Now, these two are both very attacking-natured players who, with a bit of space, can really exploit you. And I think that Ambrose Appear, in my opinion, is sort of best positioned to be able to unlock Johan Goosen, who's been pretty subpar in the first rounds of the URC, if we're being brutally honest. And it's something that we were talking about everybody wants to see him back in the Springbok setup, and based on his Currie Cup form, it would have been a no-brainer. But he needs to start doing in the URC, and hopefully his pack can give him a bit of front foot ball. And then the Bulls actually need to back themselves and go out and play a bit of rugby. We saw them kicking a little bit too much last weekend, sort of straying a little bit away from what they were doing in the Currie Cup. And I think, with the likes of Kirtley Orange, Samadosh Tamwe as your two wings, David Creel, they've got so much attacking talent. They don't have very big wings, very powerful wings who can sort of get up and contend for the high ball. They've got lots of pace. And Harold Forster, Cornel Hendricks in the centres as well. Cornel Hendricks not operating at inside centre, which is where I really like him. But I think that him and Harold Forster should be quite an interesting combination. They've got so much attacking talent in the side that I really do hope they keep ball in hand and have a go. Off the bench, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Jake White's sort of the prodigal son, really. He really highly rates Jan-Hendrik Wessels. We've seen him sort of make that switch to hooker from prop, and we'll see how it goes. To be able to have Lizo Gqoboka coming off the bench is also a huge boost. Somebody who could be in the Springbok squad and nobody would blink. And then Robert Hunt gets an opportunity at tight end. Haven't seen much of him. Whilst Denkup, Honor, Buerta, two class operators who've been playing a lot of rugby for the Bulls in the starting lineup. Keegan Johannes, a very exciting youngster. Chris Smith and Lionel Poo. So it's a nice place to bring off the bench as well. It's definitely not the Bulls' best 23 they can put out. But I think there's some very exciting players who I think with ball in hand and with the right conditions can definitely try and have a go at this Cardiff defence. And I really do hope that they try. Let me know what you think will happen in the game down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.